Creepers left to rise, buzz like crazy. Everybody's trying to stimulate it. Spiders in the mirror and feel this can't be right. Back to the scene of a Friday night, to a blessed collision still frozen tight. Spear drinkers, Cupid and the sound of her first chime. And why did you argue? We're dreaming of those eyes, the best part of my life. And when we make love, babe, don't make a sound, the clock won't turn around. Ooh, you turn around 2,000 later.
Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another vlog. Hello Kaisi, you want to show them your snake? Come here, come here, come here. Oh, thank you. Right. Okay, ready, go. Well, I got my soda, my soda shop. My latest kick is Coke Zero, sugar-free raspberry, and half raspberry puree. So there's like real raspberries, but also sugar. So it's a treat, but it's delicious. Took a trip to the library. I had to go in and renew my library card so I could continue to check out books on Hoopla, and just looked around, but I didn't see any books that caught my eye to bring home that I didn't already have. So anyway, it's the start of a new reading vlog. This week I am back on Marrying Winterborn. I really want to finish this series, and I've got all the books lined up in my Libby app from my library, so I'm currently listening to this. I am this far into it, about 35%. I'm on chapter 11. And I really, honestly, like, I just love Lisa Kleypas. Every time I pick up one of her books, I can guarantee that I'm going to be engaged, that I'm going to be entertained, and that I'm going to just really enjoy myself. Even if sometimes I'm slightly disappointed in the end result, which was Cold Hearted Rake, which was the first book, which I have in another reading vlog, which I really didn't love. I was pretty I mean, I gave it a 3-star, because still a book at least a Kleypas book that I'm disappointed with is still a good book in my opinion. So I'm really excited that I am really loving this one. This one follows Helen and Rhys Winterborn, who we see extensively, quite extensively, for not being the main characters in Cold Hearted Rake. And Rhys is really a pretty unlikable hero in there. So I've really been interested to read this because I know this is most people's favorite in the series. Like, they just really love this book, so I wanted to see the redemption that he would have here. And I think that he is a classic Kleypas hero in that he is very alpha and very, like, possessive, but also so tender and thoughtful for the heroine. And I love seeing that dichotomy of his character where he is really sort of like used to getting what he wants all the time, and he sees something he wants, he goes and takes it, you know? That type of a hero who honestly was extremely jerky to Helen in Cold Hearted Rake, to now we have where he can't even stand the thought of being separated from her for a little while to wait to be married, and he is so tender with them. Like, their first intimate scene was just, it was so good. Like, it's just a delight to read. It's just so great. So I'm very excited about this. I will say though that in general, I'm sure I'm gonna love this, but in general, and I know this happens often in historical romances, when the couple, like when they get together, when they get together physically early on in the book, it sort of really takes a lot of the tension away for me. Not to say that I can't enjoy that, but I'm always like, so now what's the conflict gonna be, you know? Like, I don't know. I prefer a little bit more of, like, anxiety about will they, won't, and not even will they, won't they, because, you know, they will, because it's a romance, but I really love watching that process of realizing that, yes, I want to be with this person and doing everything possible to get them. And I feel like sometimes when they get together too early for my taste, that is kind of lost. So, but I'm not really feeling like that, but also I'm not necessarily, like, I'm enjoying reading this, but that tension of wondering what their feelings are for one another isn't really there, because you know that they, you know? I don't know if I explained that very well. It made sense in my head. Anyway, this is what I'm reading. I'll update you as I continue on. I may not even update you until I get to the end. I'll give you my final thoughts on this. I'm super enjoying it. This is the second book in the Ravenels series, and I am reading this in preparation for the next book to come out this summer, Devil in Disguise, I believe. So, it's either Devil in Disguise. It is, yeah. Right? Yeah? Anyway, I can't remember titles. Very excited about that. So, this is what's happening. I would love to just finish this whole series in this vlog, but I'm not sure that I will be able to finish all of them in time. But originally, that was my goal. So, maybe this will just be me reading the Ravenels. We'll see, we'll see. We'll see how the week goes. Alright, check in later.
You know, when this long night will fade away, and we go back to our old ways, two perfect strangers in disguise.
Hello my friends, welcome back to the vlog. It is Friday and I finished Marrying Winterborn, finally. This was on my TBR for like from the beginning of April, and now today is the last day in April, so finally finished this. I ended up giving this 5 stars. I loved it. I really, really loved this. This isn't as much of a 5-star read for me as, again, The Magic or Mine Till Midnight are. Those are still some that I think are maybe my favorites more than this one, but I still really, really loved it. And I feel like the thing that really made me love this hero the most, because he is such a jerk in the first book, is that he was such a jerk in the first book. So watching his, like, redemption and how he really changed from such a hard, angry, just not really angry, but just a really kind of terrible guy to where he still has those very alpha tendencies, but he's very, very soft and loving and just completely devoted to Helen. Like, you can tell that Helen is his world. He is the type of man that everybody else he will set fire to, but he'll protect her at all costs, and that's my favorite thing. It was done to perfection here. I really, really loved it. It was fabulous. 5 stars. This book makes Cold Hearted Rake worth the read. I talked about Cold Hearted Rake, which is the first book in this series, if you didn't know, in a previous reading vlog, and I gave it 3 stars, and it is so far my least favorite Lisa Kleypas book. But this one, like, reading that book makes you just absolutely swoon for Rhys in here, Rhys Winterborn. He is the ultimate stern peppermint daddy, and it's just, this was a fantastic book. I really loved it. Now I'm very excited to get to the next one, which is Devil in Spring. And I was going to include this. I don't have the step back for this one, but it's still pretty. So this is the next book in the Ravenel series. I am going to be starting this one, but I think I will save this for my next week's vlog, because hi, I'm back. You know what I'm going to say. My battery died. Clearly you're learning that I am the type of person that drives their car until the gas gauge is below the red line or the red dot or whatever. I thought I had enough battery to talk through this clip. Clearly I didn't. So I'm going to start this one soon, but I think I may wait to start this until Monday. So I'll have this in my next week's reading vlog. So now, since it's Friday and I've only read 1 book so far in this vlog, I think what I'm going to do is I actually have already started this book, but I'm going to vlog about it now, and that is Eve Brown. I can't remember I can't remember the first part. Eve Brown, the third book in the Brown sisters. I have started it. I am about 20% of the way into the audiobook. This book, I love Talia Hibbert so much. I think she is just one of the best romance writers right now. I think she does such a great job of combining everything that I love in romance with the swoony romantic feelings, the steam, the personal issues that they're striving to overcome, the different relationship aspects that are involved there. She has a lot of diversity in her books. Eve Brown has an autistic hero and a black plus-size woman as the heroine, and I just am loving it so much. Her books are so readable and so easy to get into. They're so funny. Like, this book is cracking me up. I just love the way she writes with so much wit, but also so much warmth. Like, it just never comes across feeling like painful or harsh. And sometimes I feel like humor can, in some cases. It's just so good. So Eve Brown, if you don't know what this is about, this is a new release this year. Eve Brown is one of the Brown sisters that are in both of the other previous books, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Dani Brown. So she is a certified self-proclaimed hot mess. She doesn't really keep jobs very well. She kind of messes up, and she ended up kind of ruining this wedding that she was in charge of putting together. Her parents have basically said, you need to get your act together, get a job, and get your life in order. So she ends up meeting Jacob, but she doesn't meet him. She goes into this bed and breakfast because she has some, I think she may be a chef. I'm not entirely sure if she's a chef or a pastry chef. Anyway, I think she has those skills. So she comes to the bed and breakfast to look for a job to get hired there to cook. And she ends up meeting Jacob, who is the bed and breakfast owner, and he is just completely like, he's in a bind and he needs someone to work for him, but he's like, I don't know about you because you definitely give me hot mess vibes, and oh, it's so funny. So they have a little bit of they're just butting heads all the time, and it's just so fun. She accidentally hits him with his car and he breaks his arm, and so he's sort of forced to hire her to do the job, and it's just a freaking delight. I have zero doubt I know this is going to be a 5-star read. I'm just so happy to be back with this, in this world specifically. There's just some magic. There's some real magic happening here that Talia Brown is doing in these books. I love how she is giving space for so many different types of people to be seen. Like, specifically, Get a Life, Chloe Brown means a lot to me because it has chronic illness rep. And even though I don't have the chronic illness that Chloe does, I do have a chronic illness, and it was so relatable, and it was just so nice to see that representation, and I just absolutely loved it. And I also really, honestly, this was one of my favorite books last year, Take a Hint, Dani Brown. This hero is one of my favorite alpha mellow heroes, where he's very alpha but very mellow for the heroine. I need to get a paperback of this so that they all match. Is that being too extra? Because this is my book of the month book. But also, like, I want them to match. Anyway, I don't have a physical copy yet of Eve Brown. I am going to be getting it, and I'm trying to decide if I stop at the bookstore today to get it or not. I probably will. But I also have some book mail here, so those are the reading plans. I have some book mail right here that I got yesterday, and I have been wanting to open it. I can't open it. This book I just read. I listened to the audio. I had an e-arc of it, and then I got the audio, and then I wanted the physical copy because I know, sorry if that was loud, I really wanted a physical copy of this book because I know that this author's books are difficult to come by. They are not in print for very long. I don't understand why in paperback. So you usually end up having to find them secondhand, and this book just came out in December. It is the second book in Elizabeth Hoyt's new series, the Grey Court series. I read this book this week. I didn't vlog it. I was trying to get through some arcs, and this was an arc copy that I just didn't get to in time. It came out in December. This is the second book in her Grey Court series, which is a spin-off of the Maiden Lane series. I absolutely loved it. It was 5 stars. It was just, this has all of the magic of the Maiden Lane series that I was wanting. There are references to St. Giles Street, and I loved this hero. It was just so good. I loved it so much. So I got a physical copy that I found at Target of all places because on Amazon they were sold out. and it's not in print anymore, so I'm so happy to have that. I do have the first book in that series, which is in my May TBR video, which I just posted today. So if you watch my videos regularly, you've probably seen it. So that is definitely, I'm gonna for sure go back and read the first in that, but I wanted to work on my NetGalley score, so I was reading a bunch of arcs. Okay, and then I have the Mystic box, which is a dark romance box, which, to be quite honest, I haven't really found a ton of dark romance that I vibe with a whole lot. I do like dark themes. I sometimes struggle with some popular dark romance books because it just feels not for me. That's all I'm going to say right now, because I know a lot of people love dark romance, and I just haven't really found my brand of it yet that I absolutely love. I have some books that I really love, but not as a whole, you know? Anyway, here's the art. I know the author for this month's box is Tejan. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. I'm so sorry. I should have looked that up, but alas, I did not. Tejan. Ooh, look at this. Wait, it's a bookmark? Carter Reed. That is cool. And then they always send a pin. This is cute. Oh, how cute is that? It says, "My crew is better than yours." I love it very much. This is the little art book. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. So these, I think, are Mafia books, because it says on the front, La Familia. We all know what that means. Artists that... Oh wait, artists. Those are the artists. Okay. This is very cool. I'm hoping to be wowed. This is the same one that came in the little print card. I love that they do this. I love that they send you art of the books. Like, I freaking love that so much. This art style is very cool. Uh-oh. It's giving me Negan vibes. This is cool. I'm not a huge fan of this art style. It's fine. It's really good. They're very talented. I like it. I don't love it. I like it. Oh, okay, so let's see the books that we got. I saw a few people on Instagram had gotten their boxes, and I hurried and clicked away because I didn't want to be spoiled, because I love being surprised by these. That's one of the reasons that I get them. Also, they're just stunning. Wow, these are pretty cool. I have not read these books. I actually have not even read this author, although I have a few of her books on Kindle. Carter Reed and Cole. So I have not heard anything really about these. Emma decided to skip the gym and went home early. It was the last easy decision she made because she found her roommate being raped by the boyfriend. Ooh. She had two choices: call the cops and be killed by his family's mafia connections, or kill him first and hope to survive. Okay. She killed him first and went to the one person who could protect her, Carter Reed. He's a weapon for the rivaling mafia family, but he's also Emma's secret. Not only was he best friends with her brother, she's the reason he became that weapon in the first place. Well, I am very intrigued with that. So that one is for Carter Reed. I'm assuming... I don't know. I don't know which one is first. Okay. And this one is Cole. He was just a guy who walked through a restaurant. I didn't know his name. We never made eye contact. There was no connection between us at all, but I could feel him. The tingle down my spine, the command in his presence, the snap of tension in the air around him. That was the first time I saw him, and I was captivated. The second time was different. He was in the mysterious back elevator of my apartment building. Our eyes met for the fleeting second before the doors closed, and I was staggered. My breath was robbed, my senses on high alert, my body hummed. That was just the beginning. He was the leader of the mafia. I was about to fall in love with him, and his name, Cole. Okay. I'm not, I don't, how to word this correctly. I don't necessarily love mafia books, but I feel like I have not read broadly in mafia, but I am not gonna lie, I'm very intrigued with these. I don't really love these covers. These covers are kind of disappointing because they are kind of giving me like early 2000s action movie poster vibes. Am I wrong? They're cool though. I'm excited. I may cancel my box after this though. Like, the whole reason I wanted to get this box was just because of the experience. I feel like they do a really good job. Like, that's a beautiful box to open. It's packaged really well. The designs are really stunning. And I'm not sad that I have those, but I also sort of feel like I don't know how many of those I'm gonna read. I wish somebody would curate a historical romance box like that. I would die. I would die. Hardcover historical romance special edition covers with all the pretty, like, wouldn't that be cool? Maybe that will happen now that historical romance is kind of, I don't know. Do you think it's died down since Bridgerton has been out for a while? I sort of feel like it's still gaining. I can't put that away yet. I feel like it's still gaining in popularity. My historical romance content is by far my most watched, which I really, really enjoy because that's my favorite subgenre. Anyway, that was a long rambly rant. Okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I have my shop update today for my Tumblr Creatures shop. Yesterday I spent all day making the new designs and getting my website and newsletter and all that stuff out. And I'm always nervous on shop update days, but it's gonna go good. I had a little taste of it yesterday for my newsletter subscribers, and that went really well, so hopefully it will go well today. Anyways, it's Friday, and I'm gonna go to the gym, and I'm gonna listen to more of this book, so I will see you all probably when I finish this book. Talk to you soon. Good morning, my friends. It's Saturday. I wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about, oh my heck, why can I not? Eve Brown. My memory, I swear my memory is getting worse. I mean, I am getting older, but I'm not that old. My memory has always been bad. Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I am on chapter 16, which is about 3/4 of the way through. I was hoping to finish this to be my last book in April, just because I wanted to include it in my wrap-up, but it's May 1st today. It's gonna be May, so it'll be my first book in May, and I just had a few thoughts as I was listening to this, and just, this is such an enjoyable reading experience. Like, you know how sometimes when you read books and, like, maybe you're swept away in the story, or maybe it feels like drudgery even, or even if it's a fast-paced read, it's still not necessarily an enjoyable read. Like, I feel like this is just such an indulgence, you know, which we shouldn't feel like that about reading, but it's just such an enjoyable reading experience. I just can't get over how much I am in love with this book. It is perfect in every way. I feel like this is just perfect in every way. It again comes to how much I feel like Talia Hibbert is doing so much work in this genre, and this is one of those books that I would recommend to people who maybe don't read romance, or who think that it's only a certain type of book. You know, I feel like this really does so much work, and it pushes the boundaries of what we expect from romance, and I just absolutely adore it. I mean, the relationship between Jacob and Eve is so beautiful. It is just, I feel like the overall theme of this book is so much about consideration for others, and how that is such a driving force of this book. You see it in Eve's consideration for Jacob, and especially in Jacob's consideration for Eve, but also in the way that Jacob is so concerned about how he runs his bed and breakfast, why he wanted to start it, how he makes sure that there are all types of sensory materials there for people who may have sensory issues, and I just felt like it is just so comforting and just so lovely to see that, and I think it's especially beautiful to see that in our hero, where it's not necessarily just focused on the heroine. It's just so beautiful. I also feel like watching these two, this for me does what I love about romance perfectly, and it captures the falling in love in a way that isn't just insta-love, and it isn't just attraction, but it's these little moments where you can see that these two people feel something for each other, but they're not sure if they should feel that for each other, and they're not sure if the other person might feel that way for them, and so there's a lot of, like, small steps forward where they're kind of testing out the ground to see how the other person is going to perceive what they do, you know? And so I feel like you have this really magical moment between these two people where they're both being so tentative, you know? I feel like there's a beautiful fragility in this book, and it, even though, I mean, these characters, it's just so beautiful how they're both willing to be a little bit vulnerable. And then like maybe Eve does something or says something that is a little bit vulnerable that she doesn't share with other people. And Jacob picks up on that, and he sees that she's being vulnerable and trusting him. And so he returns and does a little bit with that, and you watch their relationship grow in that way. And it's one of the most beautiful things that I have seen in romance. I feel like she is doing that perfectly, where she's showing you how a relationship begins, and how it begins with little tiny risks on your part, you know, little vulnerabilities where you're sharing, and then and trusting that the other, and you know, you have to open yourself to trust that other person. And then when they guard that, and they realize that you're trusting them, you know, like, it's beautiful. So it's just so lovely to watch them grow like that. It's beautiful. I adore how attracted to Eve Jacob is, and I love how Eve is so attracted to Jacob. There is something that is just completely magical about this book that I feel like I only feel in these Brown sisters books. It's just fantastic. It's a 5-star read already. Like, I think this could be right up there with Still on one of my favorite books for the year. It's not going to eclipse Still. That is still my favorite book of the year, my favorite romance of all time. But there's just such a beauty in here, and I just love it so much. I also feel like there's, you know, in the part where I'm reading it, they've just started, you know, like they've had all these feelings for one another, and they're just starting to express that and see how that's returned with one another. And there's also this feeling of just when someone sees you for who you really are, you know, like Eve is talking about flaws that she thinks she had, or mistakes that she made, or hopes that she had that didn't turn out the way she wanted to. So she's being vulnerable with him, and she's telling him who she really is. And I feel like she's doing that because she wants him to see her, to see the real her, and to embrace that and love that. And he does. And I think that is one of the most powerful things, when you can be your real self with someone else. And they see you, and not only do they accept you, but they desire you, and they love you for that. You know, like, I don't feel like they're not at love yet, but you can tell that he is accepting who she is perfectly right in this moment. Like, she's talking about, she wanted to be a singer, and she felt like she was going to make it, and she didn't, and one of them was because of her body size. And you could totally see in that moment that Jacob, it never occurred to him that she was anything less than sensual, beautiful perfection. It's just so good, you guys. I just love it. So I wanted to come and update you on that before I finish it, while those thoughts were fresh in my mind, because this is fantastic. The hype with Talia Hibbert is deserved. It is so deserved. I think that she is one of the few authors where the hype is 100% deserved. She's fantastic, and this book is amazing, and I need a physical copy of it so badly. Okay, I'll check in with you a little later.
Oh, fear not the cold, for riddles shall unfold, and we.
Hello, my friends. I am back. I just finished reading Act Your Age, Eve Brown. It was so perfect. Honestly, that is a 6-star read. That is just that is a nearly, for me, in my opinion, that is a nearly perfect romance novel. It was so comforting, it was so fun, it was so happy. Like, the whole time I was reading it, I was like just grinning like an idiot and laughing, and it was perfect. They're the sweetest couple, and oh my gosh, like, there's this book specifically, I feel like, captures that vulnerable feeling of falling in love but still being like a little scared, and it's just so precious. And I just, honestly, I'm about to cry. Like, I feel just so happy. That is one of the books I have read this year that has just made me the happiest and has been just a completely enjoyable escape. It was fantastic. That, if you haven't read that yet, like, I'm either do it right now or save it for an emergency situation, because you can't help but feel happy when you're reading it. It's just so perfect. And I loved the epilogue in this, because this is the last of the Brown sisters book, and so we kind of see all of them at the end and get a little bit of closure, and I'm so sad that this is over. It was fantastic. I loved it so much. It was just perfect. I can't even, there, literally, I don't have a thing to say about it that is negative. It was just perfection. It was perfection. So great. Ugh. I love it. Also, I got this piece of mail today. Look at this. This is the new Mass Market Kiss Quotient cover. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it so much. I just love the colors. Oh, I love those models. They're beautiful. Ugh. This is so fantastic. I'm excited about that. Well, this has been a great reading week. I had 2 5-stars, 2 books that just, I mean, I didn't vlog everything that I read this week because I had a lot of arcs, and some of the arcs were, well, I only had one that was a 3-star arc. It'll be in my April wrap-up. I had a 3-star, 4-star, and a 5-star arc. No, I had 2 3-stars, a 4-star, and a 5-star arc. And the 5-star was Elizabeth Hoyt, of course. Just, that series is so great. That's such a great spin-off of the Maiden Lane series. I'm really excited to go back and read the first in that series. So, anyway, in this vlog, we talked about 2 books. Marrying Winterbourne, loved it so much. Again, just really amazed at Lisa's ability to take a completely unlikable hero and just flip it and turn him into just, honestly, a hero that you just love and adore and absolutely love how he loves his woman. That book was great. And then Act Your Age, Eve Brown was so good. Oh, that was so good. I loved it so much. So I'm going to end this vlog here. This may be a little bit shorter depending on how much I rambled. I haven't checked the clips yet, but I feel like it might be shorter. But I'm going to end it here and edit it and get it up on Monday. So hope you enjoyed coming along on this reading journey with me for 2 of my new favorite reads. Just completely blown away again, but not surprised about Talia Hibbert's Eve Brown. That was fantastic. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. And I'm excited to, So this next week, I'm definitely going to continue on in the Ravenels. That's probably my priority for this next week. So that should be in next week's vlog. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in my next video.